first of all, let's ask this question. Does this strategy work all across Canada, or is this, provincially specific, would you say?
The strategy not only works all across Canada. If you buzz off to Auckland, New Zealand, and you're sitting in a bar there and somebody says, old Mr. Jones down the block wants to sell his property in the worst possible way, you could get that property under contract, and you go, an assignment? You go, yeah, that's what I mean. And the reason is that assignments are what are called a common law strategy. Right. It comes from all of the countries that got their laws from England. So England, Australia, New Zealand, India, US, Canada. So the concept of getting the property under contract and then selling your interest to someone else is known across all those common law countries. Okay. Now, so it works all across Canada, because that was your question.
Yeah.
And it works all across the US. But there are provincial and state differences. I'll just tell you a few of them. So in Alberta, any contract for the purchase of land is assignable because the Land Titles Act says that. Yeah. So if I write up a contract, if you grab a standard contract and it says, this contract is not assignable except with the permission of everybody. Too bad. But in Alberta, you can assign it, period. In BC now, remember when they were having all that shadow flipping controversy? Yeah. Somehow, some old guy who's owned a property that he bought for $30,000 that he's selling for $800,000, and by the time he gets his $800,000, it's transferred to 6 other people, and there's signs in his lawn saying for sale. Anyway, so BC has recently enacted new legislation saying that buyers and sellers can prohibit assigning.
Okay. Yeah.
On the other hand, Nova Scotia has no prohibitions, nor does Saskatchewan or Ontario. Okay. So there are provincial differences and there are state differences. Okay. In Texas, for example, you have to say when you're dealing with an assignment that my interest in this property is because I am assigning it. And if you don't say that, you can't do it. In Florida, there's lots of argument about whether or not it's allowed at all, but there's lots of assigning going on. So overall, the notion of an assignment is a common law strategy, is across the country in the US, and I guess we're probably not going to India or Australia, but if you were, it'd be there too.
Okay, awesome.
You got to know your local rules, though. Okay. You need a local expert.
So there might be some, small differences between provinces, states, countries, but overall, it's a concept that can be used worldwide. Really.
Worldwide, and you just need a local expert to tell you about the subtleties where you are, and you can make it work.
Okay, awesome.